Today we have a special guest, Mr. Hoover, head coach of the Creighton Prep varsity soccer team. How you doing today, Mr. Hoover?
Excuse me. I'm doing wonderfully. It's a great rainy day. I like these days.
It is a great rainy day. So how about we start off this with our first question here? We know how you guys want that state title this year, going for the back-to-back. Is there anything more that you guys want for this team?
That's a good question. So for me, I may not be giving the proper answer when it comes to competition and the spirit of achieving the mountaintop. I evaluate the season differently than the guys do. Yes, a state championship is a wonderful goal, and to strive for it, that's ultimately what a lot of the guys focus on. But I look at different things. So back-to-back title would be a great accomplishment. Mm-hmm. But I pay attention to other things within the team dynamic, how they behave, proper sportsmanship, are they having fun, are they representing their school? These are goals that I'm a bit of a, maybe a big wet blanket when it comes to downplaying, just seeking that ultimate Everest. I mean, we have to, only one team wins, and so you have to find other things during the season to hold on to as moments of accomplishment. So, yes, a state title is well within their sights and ability.
Yeah.
But there are other things I try to impart. Mm-hmm. So that's a good question.
Thank you.
So just anyone who's watched the team this year knows that there's several underclassmen that have been taking a bigger role in obviously a lot of playing time, stuff like that. Are there any in particular you think we should look out for just beyond this season who you see could grow a lot?
SIBO, as they call you. Again, another good question. And again, I'm probably going to downplay the role of the underclassmen, though they are clearly fairly talented. They're still a little bit green around the ears, if that's the right expression. Young, youthful, inexperienced. So I'd rather dole out praise to the seniors, the captains, the guys who've been with the team for a couple of years. They're the backbone of the team that is really the key to what we've done well this year. So yes, those sophomores, I will not diminish their contributions, but I'm not going to elevate them above a senior, Jack Johnson, Shilcutt, Drayton, Stratz, Noah, the guys who've been with us through a lot of growth last year. So I'd rather single them out than some sophomores.
Yeah.
Though I love them on the team. They're wonderful young men. I'm not ready to heap praise upon them.
Yeah. And now going back, after this, you have a lot of very, very important seniors, like you just mentioned, Stratman, Dre Bieber. They're leaving. How do you expect some of the juniors to step up, or even some sophomores to step up and replace their roles?
You mean next year?
Yeah. Next year. Yeah, sorry.
Wow, we're thinking already past then. To be honest, I'm not thinking about next year. I don't think about that much.
Yeah.
I know it's something that is a reality that we'll have to face, but I don't really think about that. I try to be just kind of in the moment and appreciate what's going on now. So yeah, it's always hard to say goodbye to people who you've been with at least 3 years. Some of those guys were with us as sophomores, and there's always a little bit of heartache when you say goodbye. But I'm not. I'm just really enjoying them now. That's all I can do, and next year will take care of itself.
Yeah,
sure.
I think that's a great mindset to have.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, yeah. And a question I have for you is that if you have any, what's your favorite pregame ritual or way to prepare?
For me personally?
Yes.
I like to go thrifting before I stop in at Goodwill if it's a home game over by the Braves Net on 78th and Dodge. It kind of clears my head a little bit. I don't get anxious anyway for games too much. But I like just kind of just the mindlessness of going through Goodwill and just getting a little bit of a distance from the game, because we've had some pretty intense and I don't know, stressful games. But there's a lot of energy and expectation. So, but also like our pregame chapel routine. Every player on the team takes a turn leading our chapel. which is pretty simple, but it's a wonderful way to bring our faith into our activity.
Yeah.
And we get to be in the chapel in a quiet space, and the guys lead a prayer, and we do petitions, and so that for me is a nice centering and grounding moment.
I'm sure the guys love that. That's got to be so much
They
fun.
actually do. It's,
For sure.
Not surprisingly, but they do. It's a good way to just come together before a game at 3 o'clock, and the chapel's a beautiful space with all the great artwork in there, and the silence, and the starting to think about the game and bringing a spirituality to it is we're allowed to at Prep. We can, and we're not going to apologize for that, and that gives a lot of meaning to the whole experience.
Absolutely.
SIBO. I love that nickname.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
We've just got a couple more questions
for
for
sure.
you, but one that I wrote personally was you guys have had an amazing season so far, but I guess looking kind of past, like all the wins and stuff, like what was some adversity that you guys had to overcome, whether it be like right now or previously?
This year,
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably the worst interview because I kind of contradict every question. Adversity is such a heavy word for an extracurricular activity,
Yeah.
like anything. So every team has its pitfalls of injuries or, team chemistry dynamics that can be a bit askew at times. So I don't know, the word adversity I've always cringe at a bit because our lives are good. We have we're lucky to be able to do what we do, and so I don't think there's anything that's been glaring. Just the normal rhythms of a season that every team in every sport or any club goes through, just ups
For
and
sure.
downs.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it kind of interesting, and that's part I enjoy a lot. The journey of it, less the end of it, more the process.
Absolutely.
One final
Great answer.
question.
Yeah, one final question.
One final question here for you today. Could you go out? I've seen you with your ball handling. It's phenomenal. Could you go out, take one of the starting spots on this team, absolutely just cross up some of the guys on this team?
Oh,
What?
maybe when I was 17 and a senior at Creighton Prep, or when I was playing college at soccer at Creighton, I might have been able. But these guys are so beyond where I ever was. I'm in awe of their athleticism, their skill, their soccer IQ is off the charts, and so I have no business even imagining that I could hold my own for. If I jump in a drill, I can hit a shot. I can hit a shot okay. If I warm up a keeper or do things like that, but no, no one would like to see that.
You could cross somebody up.
I would never cross. There's no one being crossed up by me ever. No, that's a fun question. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I
Mr.
love it.
Thanks
Thank you
for
so
coming
much.
on.
Anytime.
It was
This
great.
is
Great
wonderful
talking with you.
experience. Thank you.
Um,
Do I take this off and leave?
yeah. Pretty much.
You guys are still talking now?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
All right. That was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Buddy. Let's see you.
Have a good
See you.
All right, thank you.
Could you please shut the door behind you?
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. That was Coach Hoover of the varsity soccer team. Nice, great getting him on here, seeing him having a good talk.
Love to have him in class and in the recording room. He's amazing to have, truly.
Yeah.
But kind of on that soccer note, a bit of a recap that we have since we've last recorded. They had a Council Bluffs tournament a bit last week, and we didn't cover it too much. Not a lot of predetermined games, but we played a couple Iowa teams. So we played Storm Lake. That's on last Saturday, and Prep won 5-0. A great performance, absolutely dominating, and not to mention we had four different guys with goals, including Connor Loads with 2 of them. So I think just kind of spreading that roll out just shows that, we're stacked across the board. It's not like we're being carried by anyone.
Yeah.
And I guess a bit more on the defensive side of the ball. Storm Lake only had 2 shots on goal the entire game. So I think that I think that our defense was stunning that game, and just an amazing performance across the board. Definitely 2P caliber.
Yeah.
And that same day, you've got a game against Nevada, a high school in Iowa, and Prep once again dominated, winning 6-1. You also had it spread across the board. You had 4 guys with goals, and Jordan Igwingma had two of those goals. So I think that, again, spreading it out is definitely a great sign.
Yeah.
And you had an absolute thriller last Monday against Omaha South. It was scoreless at the end of regulation, but Prep won 5-4 in PKs, and amazing performance. Shout out to Alex Sibernson, who had 4 saves that game, and in regulation, and one PK save in overtime, and I think that he's definitely playing a bigger role this year, and you love to see it. You love to see new people shine.
Yeah, that PK save came on the very last shot. It was 5-4. Just got our last PK. Sid went out there. He showed up as he always does. It was great.
Absolutely, and because of the PK situation, even though we both predicted scores for this game, we won't really tally it up because it's kind of hard to when it's 0-0 regulation.
Yeah. Now going on to baseball with the Metro tournament happening last week. First match of the tournament, we faced Westview at home. 14-2 win with a Michael Saul complete game.
Goodness.
Yeah, it was great. Very dominant by Michael Saul. Just dominant in general. Bats were on fire. Pitching and fielding was on fire. Couldn't really find out a way to stop us that game. There were no predictions for this tournament due to us not knowing who we were playing. Next round of the Metro tournament, playing Millard West. Had a good game earlier in the season, lost 5-6. This one not so much. 13-0 loss.
Jeez.
Completely shut out. Pitchers got shelled. Hitters couldn't get going. It's a really unfortunate way. And John Lysick, one of our top guys, got just absolutely pieced up through .1 innings and gave up 7 runs.
Goodness.
It's a really, really unfortunate game. Luckily, though, I predicted their loss. Well, not luckily. But I will take my point and go up 1-0.
Praying on the downfall, I see.
Next game we have against Lincoln Pius X here at home. 3-1 victory. Another triple by catcher Tony Caniglio. He has been a triple merchant so far this year, especially these last couple games. That's his 3rd. And then Braden Cato on the defensive side with a masterclass, throwing 6.1 innings and only giving up 1 run. Absolutely amazing from the young sophomore. You'll love to see it. Love to see young guys show out like that. And that says a lot for the future of the team. Prediction-wise, we were both very close. Or we were both correct, but Christian was much closer, so he will take that point, tied up 1-1.
W.
And finally, a couple days ago against Elkhorn South. At Elkhorn South, tough loss, 4-3. Tony Caniglio hit a home run early in the game. That wasn't enough to get the win, though. We needed to keep the bats going. We were unable to. And prediction-wise, neither of us were correct. We both predicted that we would win. Unfortunate loss for the Jays there.
Very, but Tony's getting better.
Yeah,
our hitters are getting better.
Yeah.
At least Tony is. So I'm happy to see that for sure.
He's been on fire
for sure. And switching gears a bit, you've got some track action since we last recorded. So you had the Central Invite last Friday, where Prep placed fifth in said invite. A lot of schools, very competitive field, so not a bad placement at all. However, we did not have any gold medalists, but we had a lot of placements across the board, including 7 silver medalists. So I think that once we get a lot of guys winning events, just dominating the field, which I know we can do, I think that we could look at a two-peat.
Yeah, that'd be great if we could do that. I mean, any state championship for any sport's amazing, but a two-peat just shows signs of utter dominance.
Absolutely.
Both soccer and track looking for that two-peat, that'd be phenomenal. And if baseball could also get that state championship, spring sweep for the big sports.
True.
That'd be nice.
Let's see. So we got some stuff happening in the next week or so before we record next. You've got a soccer game today actually versus South Sioux City, and South Sioux City is undefeated, 10-0, ranked number 2 in Class B, and Prep is 13-1, ranked number 2 in Class A. So pretty good matchup, but it'll be interesting to see how South Sioux City competes in competes in Class A, or I guess with a Class A team. But I don't think that they'll compete much in this game. I think that Prep will definitely show that it can win against anyone, and we will shut them out 2-0.
Yeah, South Sioux City. I have some past with them. I played soccer against them a couple times. They've always been they've been pretty chippy, and they've always been a very tough team to play against. They're physical. They're big. They get to the ball. They put pressure on you. I think they'll get one goal on us, but I think Prep, the offense, will take over, winning 3-1.
For sure. And coming up in a couple days, you've got soccer versus Papio. Papio is 5-8, and Prep is 13-1. So, bit of a discrepancy in the records there. And I think that we'll dominate this game, as we have a lot of games this season. Win 4-1. Offense will once again take over, but with a performance like this, no shame in only letting in one.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, there's a bit of discrepancy in the records. I think we might take that to granted a little bit. Stop trying, but it's no worries. But I think we'll take this one 3-1. No, 3-0. I don't think we'll let them score this game. I trust our defense. I trust Sib in goal there, but then our offense will get it done. So I think we'll take this one 3-0.
I could see that happening for sure.
Oh. And then also looking forward this week, we got some baseball. We got a game against Benson at 4:30 coming up next week. Benson, it's a smaller school, and they're not that great this year. They haven't been that amazing for a while.
Oh.
I don't really think this one will be close. I think Prep's going to win this one 11-1. Go home happy with a nice little, just a bounce back game if we need it, and just keep the momentum going.
Yeah, I think it'll take us some time to figure out, find, I guess, our real strengths with, hitting and stuff like that, and also defensing. Obviously, our pitching struggled a lot against Millard West, and I think that this will give us some, I guess, against a team that isn't as good, it'll give us some time to figure things out. We'll make some mistakes, but we'll walk home with a win, 9-3.
Yeah, I think we'll take care of stuff that game.
For sure.
Actually, we have a game against Lincoln Southwest in the tournament. I'm unsure who we play the second round. That's still yet to be decided. But that tourney game, I think it'll be a pretty good game. Lincoln Southwest is a good team. It'll be close. It'll be a dogfight. They're a very, very solid team. I think we'll take this one 4-3 though, in just a close, gritty game.
I get that. I could see that happening for sure, but I think that they're a great team, and we're still trying to figure some things out before we get into districts and state, and not too much time now that I think about it.
Yeah.
So I think that I think we'll lose this one 6-4, but I think these losses will give us a chance to definitely improve a lot more than we would if we were just winning in very bad games. Because if you play bad and win, then you look less on how you play than if you play bad and lose. So I think this will give us some time to reflect, hopefully, before, obviously, when it really starts to matter, winning games. And switching gears a little bit here, you've got, finishing up today with some track action, you've got the Papio Invite today, April 18th, and a lot of competition. There's going to be 11 total schools competing, so I don't know if I have a really big prediction for this game, but I just hope that this meet, but I hope we go out and execute in our events, see a lot of guys place, hopefully a lot of golds, but yeah, I think that we'll definitely we'll definitely show what we can do against a lot of these schools. And something else that we have next Tuesday is the Metro Track invite at Burke. I don't know too much about that, but it's just showing that we're getting closer and closer to the home stretch of the season, closer to state, districts, all that. So, again, I don't have any predictions for this meet, but I think that we've got to step up, and we will. I have faith.
Yeah, I hope we do. I think we can do some damage here.
For sure.
Well, that's been it today, everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in. Big thanks to Coach Hoover for stopping by, answering our questions. Thank you very much, and have a great day.